Hey guys, welcome to a YU-DO news breakdown here on Sotopop. Alright, as always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and yeah, like I said, we've got some YU-DO news to talk about, and it's, well, I mean, they just showed off what's happening, and basically showed everything that's coming out right now. It's actually coming out in Japan on Monday, but people have this in hand already. There's a really nice overview that we're going to be taking a look at, but before that, I did want to mention that, hey, we also got a Soto Candy Toy blog. So let's talk about that first, and then get into the really exciting YU-DO stuff. Anyway, without further ado, let's hop in. And yeah, so this week is our, actually, it's been quite a while since we've seen anything from Buy 2. This is part of the second wave of Soto Revice. It's really weird since the first figure we saw of Buy 2 was only a Revi figure, and we didn't get a Vice figure, and we still haven't seen it. It's for the Genome Mammoth form, and part of me is assuming there's going to be a really big transformation, considering a Mammoth is a huge thing. So maybe that's what they're saving Vice's reveal for, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, what we have today is the Decade / Megalodon form, and it looks great. Taking a look at them individually, we can see that our main boy here, Revi, has the accurate molding on his chest, as well as all the decayed detailing, however you want to say it. Also, unlike the other figures, this one is actually cast in both pink and purple plastic, just so that, you know, we have a little bit more variance here, and I really like that. Another thing about this figure is that the fins on the side, those are actually their own separate piece that you plug in, or at least it's a separate part for them. I don't know if they glue it in or we plug it in ourselves, but the thing is, you know, they decided to make these separate parts, you know, away from the arm, just so that we could get, you know, more accurate blade molding, because otherwise there would have been like extra plastic. So I appreciate the attention to detail here. And then also down here at the legs, something I'm really happy about is that the feet, the only sticker I'm really seeing there is on the sort of blue teal area. That's it. I like it. I like all of this. This looks great. And then also we have Vice here, and he has a bunch of other stuff and gunk on his arms that we'll get to, but something that I really appreciate is that we are continuing to get the tampograph printed on his chest, so then that means we don't have to even sticker the chest symbol, which honestly is something I would have been fine with and I would have understood, but they're going above and beyond for that detail there, so I really appreciate that. Anyway, we have some extra detailing down here. We got a lot more paint, but it does seem like that little cuff area down there at the ankle, that's going to be stickered up as well. But yeah, anyway, that's not all we got, because we are finally getting the main sidearm. Now, the blade sort of, you know, fills in the blank in your mind a little bit, but it is worth noting that there is no bottom portion, like where there should be an actual blade connected to the gun. There's none of that down there, unfortunately. But, you know, like with this pose, you can sort of fudge it. Not with any of the other versions of this figure, but this here looks fine. It caught me off guard for a second because I thought, oh, is there an extra piece? No, that's just the extra arm. But yeah, this thing looks pretty good. You have a sticker, like 1 or 2 stickers that's gonna slap down and hit everything, which I'm not 100% fond of, just because that's gonna have to go into a lot of crevices and has a lot of potential to tear. But what I do appreciate is that we did get the symbol for the stamp in the front, and it's very detailed, especially at this scale, so I am happy to see this here. As happy as this stamp is to see us. So, that's actually not all, because because they did actually say, hey, we're gonna have to carve out a little bit of this area. So this, what you're seeing here, this negative space that's been taken out, those are, man, I'm forgetting the term for it that they used, but these are sort of reliefs. Basically, if you mold a part, if you mold a piece of plastic, you can't mold out like a really thick piece of plastic, because it's going to sink. When the plastic cools, the plastic shrinks, and then it creates a sinking effect, and then it cracks the area. So as long as you keep your part as thin as you can, it's not gonna crack. It's going to cool, and it's gonna be fine. That is why that is there. It's not because of material cost or anything. It's because they don't want this cracking on you. So that's a very important consideration, and why this, quote, meat removal is typically happening with Shodo. So just keep that in mind for this item. It's going to be empty on that side, but hey, it's fine. Also, it does seem to be a little bit thin because of it, but once again, it's a large gun. I'm okay with this. Hey, also, Vice is getting his weapon. Or rather, I guess this is the sidearm for a lot of people, not just Vice himself, but it does look very good, and it is just a phone, so it is flat anyway, and really the only detail here is the little, I guess, extra blue and pink around it, so I do really appreciate this. Here they are together, looking very good, and like I said, everybody uses that weapon basically, so he can dual wield. It's a good time. But now, we move on to the transformation, and you know me, if you know me for any amount of time during this show, you'll know that I'm not quite fond of the transformation, but as usual, these extra parts that we are converting into, that we are converting with, these are going to be part of the accessory set in buy 2. So, you're gonna have to be getting the whole box. I mean, obviously, if you're buying from America, you're getting the whole box anyway, but the transformation is possible with all these parts, and you finally get this thing that looks, well, it's not the worst one. I'll give it that. And you can take the extra U-shaped clip that's going to be included in the accessory set and have him, float around. He can also chomp really well as well. And yeah, just float them around. Actually, this chomping mechanism that you can do is really facilitated well by this extra little joint here. Well, not really joint, it's a connector piece that secures the figures together. You basically swap out Revi's belt and then plug that into Vice's back, and you basically have a very sturdy situation. Anyway, that is it for these guys, but next week we're going to be getting, as usual, more Shodo Revice, and then we're gonna get new Shodo information. I can't wait to see what this is. Typically, well, not typically, sometimes we get reveals that are just like, hey, such and such is coming, and just no images, and say, hey, next week we're gonna do images. That has happened before. I believe that happened with Build, when they revealed Kamen Rider Build and shodo-x. So we have no idea what's going to be coming for Shodo, whether it be X. O is going to be coming out soon. The latest Shodo O release is coming soon. So they're probably going to do a product reveal of that and then reveal the new thing at the end. So that in that instance it might be a shodo-x set, or on the flip side, it could be another premium item. I've seen a lot of you guys speculating on some Den-O stuff. I personally still need some Kabuto stuff. But yeah, Den-O seems to be, a really good candidate for some premium Bandai items. Either way, let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to be shown off next week in Shodo, or at least revealed, whether or not we get images or not. Anyway, that is it for Kamen Rider this week. Let us now move on into YU-DO. Now, admittedly, this blog does not have quite as much information as I really would have liked, but, there is some really cool stuff. There are some really neat tidbits in here that I wanted to share with you, so let's dive in. So here are the boxes. They look great. Something about this set is that, and we've revealed this far earlier, but we are getting Zenkai Red, and that's awesome. So they had a lot of characters that they wanted to stuff into this pack, and they said, well, because of that, we're just not going to have an accessory set, and that means if you are able to buy any of these figures single, like Two Kaiser, the Bakato, you know, the foot soldier. If you buy them, if you buy STACEASER, or if you buy Zenkai Red, all of those are going to be coming complete. They have their extra hands, and in most cases, they have their extra weapon, except for Kaiser, because his weapons come in other things. But we'll get there. Anyway, this is looking very neat. Let's dive into our first figure here, and it is Super Zenkaiser. And this is a very chunky boy. He's got all of his accessories and all the extra, like, attachments sort of coming off of his body, and it looks really good. And he's, you know, up to par in terms of articulation with the rest of YU-DO. He's got even picked out chest detail with paint. I do appreciate that, because those are domed surfaces there on the red, especially here on the rockets, on what will be, you know, the Tyrannosaurus, I guess, fingers and also rockets. So that's really nice. We also have the molded detail here with the, as spiky as they could get them, horns. So that's fine. This is good enough for me. What I really appreciate, though, is that this does scale really well with everything else, even though it is chunkier. And that is also because he does come in 2 boxes. So that is technically double the price, but, you know, you're getting a whole figure. It's pretty good. Yeah, also, he's going to be coming with the Geartlinger in the version that has the Zenkaiger gear. And this one is actually molded in, or cast in red plastic. And if you bought any of the original YU-DO Zenkaiger figures, you'll know that all of those were cast in white. This is the first time where we're casting it in red, because they're actually using red plastic this, you know, in this wave. So they just decided to cast these in the right colors, and I definitely appreciate it. Anyway, that is it for Super Zenkaiser. Let us now move on to... Oh, wait. Also, he has articulation in the opening hands. Yeah, forgot to talk about that. But yeah, Kaiser. It's Kaiser's turn, and you can make him a little dancy boy because he has all the extra articulation. He's got the flare, he's got the extra hands. It's a good time. But he's also got some very interesting stickers that were highlighted in this image. They didn't talk about that, but, like, it's really clear to see. Oh man, it's gonna be interesting, but what I do appreciate is that they did make the extra effort to give Kaiser different colored shoulder pads. They are stickered in a different gold, but I still appreciate it because it is slightly different in the show, and they did want to recreate that here. But yeah, the real fun with this guy is that you can form swap him. And they also decided to pose him with the mini claw figures, so that's where these guys come from. These are not going to be included, so if you want these guys, definitely check out the mini claw releases of these, because I believe there's just 1 box with these 2 figures in them, and they would pair really well with the rest of your hero figures. Anyway, yeah, let's actually transform him into the Shinken form. So this is one of those that actually has a little bit of information attached to it, because as they were carving out the mold for this sword, the prop had actually been completed around the same time. So when they finally saw the prop, they were like, ooh, we gotta make our sword bigger. So they had to rush the production and make sure that they actually gave us the longer swords. And once again, totally appreciate it. That's awesome. Yeah, this is very cool. He also has, I guess, much like the saber skirts, they can move to get out of the way because they are mounted on the back. But if you did not know, the chest comes apart, and you can swap in these new pieces, and that's basically how this is going to work. This is a very Soto solution. The 2 lines are merging pretty well, especially since Super, or Kamen Rider Superhero Senki, that figure got revealed a while ago, and we talked about it last week, so a lot of merging here. I do appreciate this, but that's not all, because you can get the other brother in here. I think the other one was Katana, and this one's Ricky. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is the Oren form. This looks very good. If you notice that last image, that had a bunch of red plastic, and this one's done up in a bunch of silver plastic. So they're making use of a lot of their plastic colors. They're swapping around those different molds. I really like the use of that. And once again, this has plenty of articulation, and this is the figure that's actually going to be coming with his Gear Dielinger. I think that's what it's called. Gear Dielinger? Yeah. His main sidearm that does turn into the sword from before, but this one's coming with the actual gun. But yeah, that's cool. Also, speaking of which, you are going to be getting that weapon with the loaded Zenkaiger gear, so you can turn him into this guy, Super 2 Kaiser. He looks great. Something they wanted to note about this guy is that the chest, it is molded in gray, and then you have the black paint on the I guess, crest, and also red paint on the chin. Everything else is going to be done in sticker, but once again, what I really like is that they're swapping out the colors here. We have a base silver, but for the shoulder pads and the back, you get red plastic. That's really, really good use of their molds. I definitely appreciate it. Also, something a little more subtle that you might not recognize immediately is that they actually painted the V-fin on his head to make it match with, I guess, the color difference in the actual show. Love it, love it, love it. It's a small detail, but I feel like it matters. I can't see it, honestly. It's a little tough for me to see, but hopefully when I get it in hand, it'll look a lot more different in my eyes. Anyway, that is it for this form. Looks very good, has a cape. What more can you ask for? Hey, we also have the main Minion from the show. Forgot what the name is, and if I learn it, I'm probably gonna forget about it later. So it's these little robot friends. They have specially molded hands to make them look like they're either saluting or doing the standard robot thing that robots do. But he's also going to be coming with his main weapon, and that is the the plug sort of thing. The plug, I guess, fork knife. I don't know what to call this, like a staff weapon. It's very strange, but I like it. And something they did talk about was like, hey, those little prongs at the top, those are actually painted. So this gets into a little bit of their paint philosophy, but they did say they noticed that, yeah, that's going to be impossible to sticker. And anytime that they see little areas like that where they think, wow, that's not a great place for stickers to be, or it's not going to be a good place to sticker something, they decide to go ahead and paint the whole thing. So I definitely appreciate that. Also, we have STACEASER in keeping with a bunch of the villains. STACEASER looks so striking. So striking, in fact, that the creators of this, I believe Maroto was bringing us through this blog, they were relating back, seeing this for the first time, and they were like, whoa, this looks so cool, but unfortunately for us, it's got tons of colors. It has like a base of black and purple with white and red all over it, and then some silver accents. That's gonna be impossible to do. How are they gonna do this? And what they ended up doing was cast the whole thing in black, add the purple paint, and then all the white and the red accents, those are actually going to be done in stickers. Which, unfortunate to a degree, but at least we get every single bit of these details here, and I think they're very important for this guy. Especially, oh yeah, this is just another image of him. Just a still image, if you'd like to look at it. But, I did want to talk about the head because, unlike the rest of the body, the head is actually fully painted. This is something I love. I love it a lot. This is a good time. Even that white stripe down the eye is picked out so finely. I hope they come out really well once they are all in hand, but as it stands now, it looks really good. Also, his muffler, the scarf, that is on an extra ball joint, so wonderful. Love that. Hey, that's it for STACEASER, actually. Unfortunately, there was no update or anything or extra accessories to say, hey, he's getting his second form, with the extra armor or whatnot, but I still just love having a figure of him in general. Something else that I still love having a figure of is... Oh, this again. He's getting his weapon. But hey, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about Zenkai Red. Oh my god, he looks so good. He looks so good. And I can't believe he exists. I can't believe he's real. This is here. This is an actual figure that they decided to do. I can't believe it. Now, we pointed out months ago, and I wanted to point it out again here, he is the exact same mold as Zenkaiser. So you are getting those grooves in his thigh and in the rest of his chest that have the extra ribbons for the different colors on him. Those were not taken out of the mold, unfortunately, but you know what? It's fine. I'm fine. That's okay with me. I like this anyway. Another good thing about this, he pairs well, and he looks very different from Zenkaiser just because of the paint. Also, he doesn't come with the Geertlinger. He comes with a Geertlinger in its beam mode, or the beams. I don't know if there's like an actual term for this, but they decided not only are we going to include the extra beam on there, we're also going to paint it in a metallic red to make it look like it's, you know, like an actual beam. You know, just one option short of actually making this translucent, but I love it. I absolutely love this solution. Unfortunately, it's not a removable item. It is just going to be molded in there, but hey, if you clip it off, if you buy an extra one and then clip it off, you can have a standard Geertlinger in its red molding if you wanted that. If you're a real stickler for that, you can absolutely do that. This looks so good. I'm so excited, and this figure just excites me to no end. I am amazed that this even exists, and it makes me want more. It makes me want them to go all the way with YU-DO and give us tons and tons of other things, but I know that it's YU-DO, and I should really lower my expectations because we have been only getting 2 waves each year. So if this is it for YU-DO, what a bang to go out on. They still have stuff left on the table, but we at least have representation of a lot of the characters, a lot of the side characters. This is pretty good for me. But hey, that wouldn't stop us from, you know, doing a few more thought experiments. So if you want to tell me what you would put into a potential YU-DO 3 for Zenkaiger, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, anyway, that's it for this blog. They decided to end off with a little teaser for the Zenkai canon. I think that's the name, which, unfortunately, that means that Zenkaiser isn't actually going to be getting, in YU-DO, a wieldable canon. So that sucks, but hey, you know, at least you're getting the mecha. So that's the main line anyway. YU-DO is sort of an extra thing on its own, and the mecha is the main line, so we always have to pay respect to them. Anyway, that is actually it for this week's stuff. Let me know in the comments down below anything about the Shodo stuff. What you think's going to be happening with Shodo? What you think they're going to be revealing for Shodo next week? Or what you think could be in a potential YU-DO 3, let me know in the comments down below. And hey, while you're down there, there are links in the description to where you can buy some Zenkaiger merch if you are so inclined. Do you want to wear Zenkaiger's mask on your face as a mask? You could do that. This is merch that I designed myself, and if you purchase any of that, it helps support me. But anyway, there are far more important links down there. There are links to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement. There are links to how you can help support the hashtag Stop Anti-Asian Hate, and also just a link to donate to the Trevor Project if you are so inclined. Also, there's a Discord in the description down below where you can hang out with Malunis and myself. Josh isn't really there too often, but there's also a feedback portion of the Discord where you can submit your charities if you'd like to if you'd like us to shout them out. Definitely go there and let us know. Thank you so much for watching. Keep it. See you next time. Wow, a Sunday video. I think this is when it's being posted. So hey, I don't know if this is going to be a sustainable option to do Sundays all the time, but I felt like it. You ever just make a video because you feel like it? That's what happened. Alright.